It's hard to believe Nintendo Switch has been out for 2 months already. Time flies. I've been playing my Switch pretty regularly, and I'm happy with my purchase. The core selling points of the console, playing it on the TV and quickly switching to portable mode, still feels as neat now as it did the day I got it. Playing with friends by sharing the Joy-Con is something genuinely unique to the system. It's easy to bring it somewhere, set it up, and share the game. Each Joy-Con being able to be used as its own controller is what I would consider great design. The hardware has held up well, with no major issues so far. The left Joy-Con reception issue hasn't been that big of a problem, and I've managed to avoid the dock scratching issue by putting a sleeve over the dock. The Pro Controller is very comfortable and worth purchasing. It feels great in your hand, and it controls well. It's especially nice for Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart. When the initial battery spec of the console was announced, ranging from about 2.5 to 6 hours based upon the intensity of the game, folks seemed to feel that it was too short. While it may be a bit short for longer trips without power access, like on a plane without plugs or in a car, the battery has been totally fine when lounging around the house, taking it out on the bus or around town, and just shorter play sessions in general. Of course, a longer battery life would be welcome, but the battery life hasn't been a problem so far. The only problem I've experienced with the Switch is that my Wi-Fi signal is very weak on it. When sitting next to my router, and I mean right next to it, it only shows 2 bars of wireless signal strength. Something about that seems strange to me. While playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Puyo Puyo Tetris Online, I've also had the console drop the connection a bunch. I'm not sure if this is something to do with the Switch's online infrastructure or my console or what, but it seems like something is off with the Wi-Fi signal. The operating system has continued to stay out of the way, which is exactly what I want from an operating system. It's speedy and sufficient, although there still hasn't been any word on additional functionality coming in the future, like save transfers and details on the online service. I'm eager to see what's planned for it, especially in regards to the Virtual Console. Let's get into the most important aspect, the games. From launching with Breath of the Wild to having a decent selection of eShop games to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the lineup of games on Switch has come a long way in a short period of time. Plus, there's even more promising titles on the horizon. Here are the highlights so far. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's the poster child of the console, and it deserves the intense praise that it has been receiving. It's one of those special games that comes along every decade or so, and it's a gem. Puyo Puyo Tetris. Every great console needs a solid puzzle game. Puyo Puyo Tetris is that for Switch, and it just happens to include 2 good versions of 2 of the best puzzle games, Tetris and Puyo Puyo. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A better version of the already incredible Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is worth revisiting even if you've already spent dozens of hours on the tracks. Kamiko. A neat little run-based indie action game with pretty pixel art. Kamiko is definitely worth checking out for $5. And finally, I Am Setsuna. While I Am Setsuna may not be one of the all-time great JRPGs, it's well made, a good fit for Switch, and one of the only JRPGs available on the console right now. Games coming out throughout the rest of 2017 that I'm most excited for are Disgaea 5 Complete. I haven't played a Disgaea game since 3, so I'm looking forward to plotting out my plan to take down the enemy in this wacky strategy game. Wargroove. Wargroove looks like a heavily Advanced Wars inspired game, and that is right up my alley. I am always up for more Advanced Wars. Stardew Valley. Everything about Stardew Valley looks like it's something I'd love, from the slower pace of it to the pixel art, and I'm looking forward to finally playing it on Switch. It seems like a great hangout game. Super Mario Odyssey. It's a legit new 3D Mario game. What's not to be excited about? And finally, the game I'm most excited for is Xenoblade 2. I enjoyed the first game and X a bunch, and I'm ready to dig into a large, well-produced JRPG on Switch. I think it'll be a really good fit for playing in portable mode and also on TV. If you're wondering where Splatoon 2 and ARMS are, well, I'm not sure they're for me. Splatoon 2's Global Testfire demo made me feel motion sick while playing, and I'm not entirely sold on ARMS yet. I'll have to wait and see. Although I can totally understand why people would be excited for those two games. The main question that I keep thinking is, would I recommend buying a Switch to someone else? When it first released, my answer would have been no, because there just weren't enough games that made it feel like it was something worth dropping $300 on. But already within 2 months, I honestly think it's worth buying a Switch if any of those games that have already been released or are coming out in the near future are things you want to play. There's already a solid number of games, and those on the horizon look promising. Switch is a unique game console, and I think Nintendo, indie developers, and the third-party developers are going to continue to deliver throughout 2017 and into the future. I also think E3 in June will be a pretty big period of time where we get some new news on what the future is for Switch. Nintendo Switch is off to a solid start, and I'm excited to see what the rest of 2017 brings for it.